Hello guys, welcome back to the channel DevOps Consultancy and Solution. In this video, we will learn how to install the Packer on the Mac, Linux and Windows operating system. Let's get started, and first we will install the Packer on the Mac OS environment. So in order to install the Packer, we will go to the official site of the HashiCorp Vault and see what are the steps to install the Packer. Because I'm using the Mac OS, so I will show you the steps to install the to show the steps to install Packer on the Mac. But in the next video, I will show you how to install the Packer on the Windows or the Linux environment. So in order to install the Packer on Mac, first we need is Brew. HomeBrew need to be installed on the MacBook. In order to install the brew, you need to run the curl command. So I will provide this command in the description. Once you enter this command, it will ask you the password. Enter the password and it will ask you further whether you want to continue or abort. Just press enter for continue. So it will take few seconds, 40 to 50 seconds roughly, to install the brew on your machine. Once the installation will finish, it will give you few commands that you need to run to add the brew in your terminal path. So once the brew path is updated, it will help you to run the brew commands from new any terminal windows without any issue. So installation is going on. I will show you which what we need to update. It is updating HomeBrew now. So it is the final Ruby update package. Yeah, so HomeBrew is installed. So these are the commands that I was telling you. Run and update the path. So I executed these commands. So path is updated. So now we will see how to install the Packer. So it is first you need to install the Packer. You need to run the brew tab, HashiCorp tab. Update the so brew tab HashiCorp. So it will install the tab command package. So yes, so tab package is installed. So next we need to install the Packer package. So again the command will be this one, brew install HashiCorp tab Packer. So now we will install the brew. So by mistake I ran the brew upgrade command instead of installed. So it is saying there is no Packer brew Packer is installed. So I will fix it. Now run the brew install HashiCorp /tab/Packer. So it start running. So it will take few seconds. Now the Packer is installed. So in order to confirm whether we can run, I can run Packer version. So yeah, so Packer is installed properly. So now we can use the Packer to create our own, build our own image. So far I show you how to install the Packer on the Mac OS environment. So for that for that on the Mac OS, first we need to install the Homebrew and then install the Packer on it. Now I will show you how to install the Packer on the Linux environment, and later part I will show you how to install the Packer on the Windows. So for the Linux, I created the instance on the AWS which I will use. So it can be your AWS instance or it can be Red Hat instance. I use the Red Hat instance because if you see the Packer documentation, so there is not a major difference between the commands which are required to install the Packer on the Red Hat or AWS. The only difference is the repository name, the repository which it need to be added into the config manager. That is the difference. So in the Red Hat, it is giving the name RHEL, and for the AWS Linux, it has their name AWS Linux. Rest configurations are all are same. So I will just go to AWS instance where the instances are running. So I will click on the Linux instance. So this is a Linux instance ID. So I click on it, click on connect. I will go to the SSH client section. So it will tell you how to connect to the your AWS Linux machine. So I already downloaded my private key file. I changed the permission. It is saying to change the permission of your private key, and this is the instance public DNS. So this is an example which they mentioned here how to connect to the instance. It is the SSH space hyphen I, then private key space EC2 hyphen user at the rate public DNS name. So in the terminal, I will show you. This is I already downloaded the private key. So this is a private key and change the permission. Give the command to connect to the instance. Give yes, yeah. So connected to the instance. So then run the first command, which is to update the to install the utils file. So enter the command here. So it is saying it's already updated and nothing to install. That's really good. So then I will add the repository into the configuration manager. So I will enter the command here. So repository has been added. So third command is to install the packer. So I will run the third command, which is sudo yum hyphen. So it is installing the packer. So packer has been installed. To verify, so I will run the command packer space hyphen version. So packer, or if I run simple packer, so it will tell me you need to pass the command, available command like build console fix or init or plugin, whatever. So now the packer is installed on the Linux. So it's a very simple steps. You just need to install the yum utils and then add the repository and run the yum command to install the packer. Now we will see how to install the packer on the Windows machine. So there are two ways. Either we can use the command line option, or second is to use the PowerShell script. So I will show you both the way how you want to how you can install the packer on the Windows machine. So I will just click it and go to the first Windows machine. So on the first we will use the command line. So I will click here in the VM1, go to the option connect and go to the RDP client. I will download the desktop file. So in the I will get the password here. So I need to use the password to connect. Use the Windows. This is my private key for the Windows. So it will help me to decrypt the password. So you can, as you're seeing, you will see my password here to connect, but it will not be helpful because I will terminate the instance and delete the my private key. So I will do it. You just create your own private key file and decrypt it to get the password to connect to the Windows. So I just copy the password here. I will go to the devices. So in the RDP client, so I will just open it. This is the Windows 1. User will be administrator and password I just enter here. So press continue to connect. Windows will take a few seconds to customize it or prepare and get it ready for the use. Windows initialization is done. So I will just go to the command prompt here. open the command prompt. So in order to install, if we go to the Packer documentation, it is saying you need to run the command choco install packer, or other if the choco is not installed, first you need to install the chocolatey package on the Windows machine. As I know, on the Windows by default chocolatey is not installed, so first we will install the chocolatey on the Windows machine. In order to install the chocolatey on the Windows machine by command line, command prompt, so I need to run the, I will use this command. I will provide this command in the description. If I run here, it will start the installation process. So now the installation process has been started. It will take just few seconds to install the chocolatey on the Windows server. Now the chocolatey has been installed. So I will use the choco command to install the packer. So command is choco install packer. Now the packer installation done. It is saying, do you want to run the scripts? I will say yes to all. Yeah. Now the packer has been installed. So we will verify it by running the command packer space hyphen version. Yeah, it run the simple packer command, which will tell me to pass the commands or the variables. So now the packer is installed on the Windows server. So in the next example, I will show you how to install the packer on the Windows server using PowerShell. So now I will close this instance and delete it from here. I will go to the AWS instance section, click on the instances. I will select the second instance. I click on the Packer Win VM2 instance ID. Click on connect, RDP client, download the remote desktop file. Again, for this, I need to get the password. Yeah, I will upload the private key to decrypt it and get the password for this. So I will copy the password. I will go to the Windows app, connect to the second VM. So user will be administrator. I enter the password. Press continue, and again Windows will take a little bit more time to initialize it. So initialization is done. So I will run the PowerShell, because in this example we will see what commands are required to install the packer by using the PowerShell. So again, first we need to install the chocolatey. So in order to install chocolatey first command we need to run is get hyphen execution policy. So if it returns you restricted, then you need to run the second command, which is set hyphen execution policy space all signed, right? But because it is giving me unrestricted, so it is not restricted for me. But again, but I will show you the command which it is need to run. So this is the command. If it returns you restricted, if it returns you restricted here, then you need to run this command. So if I run this command all signed, it will not uh, change the execution policy for me. So this is the command, which is basically it is saying first is it is executing the policy, like it is bypassing the process, and then it is installing the chocolatey on the Windows server. So I just press enter. So now the installation of the chocolate is done. So next command is to install Packer. So I will give a command choco space install Packer. Yes, for all the packages or A. So now the Packer has been installed. So in order to verify, so I can run the command packer space hyphen version. Now the Packer is installed. It is give me version v1.11.2, or I can just give a command packer and it will tell me to pass the commands. So in this way, so we basically learned how to install the Packer on the different environments, like or the operating system like Windows or Linux and the MacBook. So hope this session was useful for you. How to So in the next session, I will show you how to build your own image using the Packer build commands. So guys, please stay tuned and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you all.